Jeopardy! Please welcome our contestants. Player 1. Player 2. Player 3. And now, here is the host of Jeopardy, Alex Trebek.
Thank you, Johnny Gilbert, and thank you, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome. Let's take you right now into the Jeopardy round. Clues are worth $200 to $1,000 in these categories: literature, animals, eat well, 21st century history, Kmart, and movie kisses. Player 1, you're in command of the board as we continue right now. Kelly?
1 in every 6 known bird species makes its home in this rainforest.
Player 1? That's correct. You again, Player 1. Sputniks 5, 6, 9, and 10 carried these animals into space. It's Player 1. Sorry, that's wrong. Anyone else want to hazard a guess on this? Here's the correct response. Dogs. Select again. Got one of these odorous animals, also known as a polecat, as a pet? Call your Humane Society to make sure it's legal. Player 1? Right you are. You've got some money again. We return to you, Player 1. Critters of the Pleistocene epoch include the mammoth and this breast-tooth relative. Let's hear it, Player 3. That is correct. Player 3, you're in command of the board as we continue, right? He said kissing Kirsten Dunst upside down in the rain was the hardest thing he's done as Spider-Man. Let's hear it, Player 1. Right. A lot of clues, a lot of categories, Player 1. Make a selection. Dachs, as in Dachshund, is German for this burrowing animal. The correct response is the badger. Player 1, back to you for our next selection. Eat a salad with this vegetable that can be classified as butterhead, crisphead, leaf, or romaine. Player 1? That is correct. Player 1, you pick again, please. Some of the recommended whole types of this food pyramid product are quinoa, millet, sorghum, and barley. The correct response is grain. We return to you, Player 1. Answer: a daily double. You're tied with Player 3, so what'll it be? And the clue. Among legumes, a good source of protein are peas and this type of seed, such as the pinto, white, or black variety. That puts you even further ahead. We return to you, Player 1. Let's get Kelly's assistance on this clue.
Seen here is the hobo sign, meaning that this staple of life is available ahead.
Okay, Player 3. That is correct. Player 3, make a selection, please, as we continue. If you want to go nuts, eat this nut native to Brazil and taken to Asia by Portuguese missionaries. Yes, player 2. Yes. Player 2, you're in command of the board as we continue, right? In Chapter 52 of this novel, a boisterous crowd is gathering for Fagin's execution. Yes, player 2. That's right, way to go. Please pick again, player 2. 19th century author, known for writing about a venerable mansion with 7 acutely peaked gables. Here's what we wanted. Nathaniel Hawthorne. Player 2. Pick again. In 2001, she became the first First Lady to win elective office, becoming a senator from New York. It's player 1. That is correct. Okay, let's get back into this. Player 1, you make the next selection as we continue. This 2005 hurricane was the costliest natural disaster in U.S. history. It's player 1. Good. You get to pick again, player 1. Benedict XVI succeeded this pope as head of the Roman Catholic Church in 2005. Here's what we wanted. John Paul II. We return to you, player 1. This cabinet-level department, established in 2002, includes FEMA, the Coast Guard, and Customs. Okay, player 2. Good. A lot of clues, a lot of categories. Player 2. Make us. In 2004, 7 countries that were once Soviet allies were admitted as new members of this military alliance. It's player 3. Correct. All right, let's get back into this. Player 3 has control. After criminal activities by this secret society, Oklahoma was placed under martial law in September of 1923. Here's the correct response. The Ku Klux Klan. Player 3, you pick again, please. The 10th letter of the Greek alphabet. The correct response is Kappa. Please pick again, player 3. Technically, it's known as the patella. Okay, player 1. That is correct. A lot of clues, a lot of categories, player 1. Mack Sennett's silent movie Bumblers. Let's hear it, player 2. No, that's not right. Any other takers? Here's what we wanted. The Keystone Cops. Please pick again, player 1. Born in 1862, he founded the Vienna Secession School of Painting and also created vibrant portraits of women. Player 2.
Oh.
No. Anyone else care to try to come up with a correct response? Here's the correct response. Gustav Klimt. Player 1, choose again. In To Have and Have Not, she kisses Bogart and says, "It's even better when you help." Here's the response we were looking for. Lauren Bacall. You again, Player 1. A mutt and a cocker spaniel slurp spaghetti and smooch in this 1955 classic. It's Player 1.
Yeah!
You again, Player 1. 1940s classic film in which the heroine says, kiss me as if it were the last time." We're talking about Casablanca. Select again. 1981 drama in which Norman Thayer asks wife Ethel, "Want to dance, or would you rather just suck face?" Player 2. Anyone else care to try to come up with a correct response? Let's hear it, Player 3. Good. Player 3, where do we start? People from the past appear to a brother and sister in Rewards and Fairies by this author of The Jungle Book. Here's the correct response. Rudyard Kipling. Player 3, back to you for our next selection. Modern novels with biblical titles include Jane Hamilton's The Book of Ruth and Toni Morrison's Song of Him. Here's what we wanted. Solomon. And now the $1,000 clue. Even Grendel would love Seamus Heaney's new translation of the Anglo-Saxon epic about this title geet. Here's what we wanted. Beowulf. Player 2 will select first in Double Jeopardy right after this. Categories for the Double Jeopardy round are: It's All Good, Gems and Jewelry, A Side of Kevin Bacon, Women of Achievement, Make No Mistake, and D in Science. Okay, let's get back into this. Player 2, you make the next selection as we... Around 46 BC, Julius Caesar offended his countrymen by dedicating a statue to her. Yes, Player 1? Good for you. Okay, let's get back into this. Player 1, you make the next selection as we... In November 1988, she was elected Prime Minister of Pakistan, becoming the first woman to head a modern Islamic nation. Player 2.
Yeah!
That's it. You're out of the hole. Player 2. You start. In 1616, she and her husband John Rolfe traveled to England to help raise funds for the Virginia colonists. Here's the correct response. Pocahontas. As an example to her Russian subjects, she and her son Paul had themselves inoculated against smallpox in 1768. It's player 2. Anyone else care to try to come up with a correct response? Here's what we wanted. Catherine the Great. Player 2, you pick again, please. Answer, the first of the daily doubles. Player 2, you're in last place, but here's an opportunity to How much? Here is your clue. To further the ambitions of her brother, her father, Pope Alexander VI, arranged several marriages for her. No, sorry. We're talking about Lucretia Borgia. We return to you, player 2. It's the more common name for solid CO2. Okay, player 1. That's it. Okay, let's get back into this. Player 1, dumbbell front raises strengthen and tone these large muscles that cover the shoulder. Let's hear it, player 1. You again, player 1. Ah, well, it's the area of light winds and calms in equatorial regions. How depressing. Player 3, you are correct. A lot of clues, a lot of categories, player 3. Make us answer. The other daily double. You're in second right now. How much? Here is your clue. With a diameter averaging about 7 miles, it's the smaller of Mars's 2 moons. Nope. Here's the correct response. Deimos. Player 3, pick again. Legacy rings inspired by the Edwardian era are exclusive to this preeminent Fifth Avenue jeweler. Yes, player 2. Sorry. Anyone else? Here's what we wanted. Tiffany. Please pick again, player 3. In Roman myth, Nenia, whose name means dirge, presided over these ceremonies. Yes, player 1? That's correct. Player 1, you're in command of the board as we continue right now. A chemical engineering book named for this process is subtitled Mass Transfer in Fluid Systems. We're talking about diffusion. Please pick again, player 1. In Egyptian myth, the god Khnum made humans on a potter's wheel, using silt from this river. Yes, player 3? That's correct. A lot of clues, a lot of categories, player 3. Make us in a Botticelli painting, Zephyrus, the west wind, is blowing this full-figured newborn to shore. Here's the correct response. Venus. Player 3, back to you for our next selection. This god of earthquakes called Rhea Mom and spent a lot of time in the water. Yes, player 2. Hey, you're right. Player 2, start us. In Wagner's Ring Cycle, this Norse god is known as Donner. Let's hear it, player 2. Right. Player 2, choose again. Kevin had to go to space camp before playing the role of Jack Swigert in this film. Player 3? Right.
Yeah! Woo!
Player 3, start us. It's the car battery terminal with a plus sign. Let's hear it, player 1.
Yeah!
Right you are. Player 1, make a selection, please, as we continue. Kevin had a cup of coffee in this 1982 Barry Levinson ensemble piece with chums Mickey Rourke, Paul Reiser, and Tim Daly. Okay, player 1. No. Anyone else? We're talking about diner. Player 1, choose again. Holy triskaidekaphobia. Special effects guru Tom Savini had an arrow shoved through Kevin's throat in this 1980 flick. Here's the correct response. Friday the 13th. Please pick again, player 1. Kevin could handle the truth as Captain Jack Ross in this 1992 legal drama written by Aaron Sorkin. It's player 1.
Yeah!
That's correct. Player 1. Pick again. Kevin played Ensign Pulver in the TV remake of this 1955 movie. It's player 2. No. Anyone else? Player 3?
Yeah!
That's correct. A lot of clues, a lot of categories, player 3. Make us. It can mean far better than average or not yet settled like an unpaid debt. It's player 1. That's it. Player 1, make a selection. The bird Ardea herodias isn't just any blue heron, it's this blue heron. Here's the correct response. Great. Please pick again, player 1. As an adjective, it means very impressive. As a noun, it's a lavish production. Player 1? That's it. Player 1, back to you. Marvin Hagler was Marvelous Marvin. Tom Seaver was nicknamed Tom This. Okay, player 1. That's it. Select again. Miss Tamblyn knows that lots of jewelry is made from this brownish-yellow fossil resin. Let's hear it, player 2. That's not it. Any other takers? Let's hear it, player 3. Nope. Anyone else want to hazard a guess on this? Yes, player 1? You got it. We return to you, player 1. In 1974, the newly discovered gem Tsavorite got its name derived from this continent's Tsavo National Park. Okay, player 2. Right. Player 2, start us. And here's Jimmy.
Headdresses of silver or white beads are common among the Aka, a tribe indigenous to the southeast part of this continent.
Here's the response we were looking for. Asia. And now the $2,000 clue. The name of this romantic ring comes from an old Irish fishing village that's now part of Galway. Player 2. No, that's not right. Anyone else care to try to come up with a correct response? Here's the response we were looking for. A claddagh. Oh, sorry. Player 2, you'll not be progressing to Final Jeopardy. Here's today's Final Jeopardy category. 16th century names. So, what's your wager? Here you are, players, the Final Jeopardy clue. Paul III roared at him, "I have waited 30 years for your services. Now I'm Pope, can't I satisfy my desire?" What did you say? And this correct response will add how much to your score? What did you put as your response? And that will cost you. This makes you our new champion, Player 1, so congratulations. Good game. Thank you so much for playing.